What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Just the Tip. I love that we came up with that name. So today we are going to go over the dumbbell clean and press. It is an event I love, I'm getting better at, but it is one of those ones that it really just comes down to a couple of things. It comes down to how hard are you willing to work, because typically we see this event, it is maximum reps in 60 seconds. But it's also about efficiency and positioning of the dumbbell. A lot of these strongman events, the easier you can make them work for your body, the better you're going to be at them, the easier they're going to be, the more reps you're going to get. So while we're talking about the dumbbell, today I'm going to be using just a 10-inch Rogue dumbbell, just so we can go over the basics of the clean, the positioning, the press, and how to cycle these reps, dropping them from overhead to make sure that it's in a position where you can quickly re-grip and get back into the event. Because again, time during this event, we want to be as quick and efficient as possible between reps, so the turnover is quick, we can get more reps. Now, when we're in the dumbbell position, so I'm going to get my belt nice and tight. The clean is where I see a lot of people use a little bit too much energy that is unnecessary. So a lot of times we see guys kind of swing the dumbbell out and around onto the shoulder and then go for the press. With this event, again, in order to initiate the press, for it to be counted as a good rep, you can only have one hand on the dumbbell. So we want to get it into that position on the shoulder as quickly and efficiently as possible. So what I like to do is I actually use my belt and the equipment that I have to my advantage in order to make sure that we're going to be getting a quick and easy clean. Again, also saving energy to make the press easier at the end of the day. So what we end up doing is when I pick up the dumbbell, the close end of the bell, I actually lever off of my belt and then pop it up into position, and it's going to get me right into the resting position on my trap and my neck in order to be in a good position to press. So what I'll do is I'll show you the clean, I'll drop it, then we'll go over more. So I'm going to grab the dumbbell onto my belt, pop it up into position, and be ready to press. So in real time it looks like this. Nice and seamless with no issues. So now when we're on the shoulder, the biggest thing that we want to look at is elbow position, because that's going to be really telling of how easy the press is going to be. What I tell other athletes is when you have the dumbbell on your shoulder, you essentially want to have your tricep and your elbow parallel to the ground, okay? So what I tell people is imagine having a table under your tricep, and that's going to be the position we want our elbow to be in. When we go for the dip and we initiate the dip of the press, we want to make sure that elbow stays up nice and high. We don't want to see any of this. We want to make sure our lat is locked in, because if that elbow drops, we're going to be working against ourselves to try to get in a position to press. So we have the dumbbell up on the shoulder, rested against the trap and the neck. Our lat is locked in and our elbow is parallel to the ground. From there, we're going to dip and drive. So we're going to take a small little dip, make sure our torso stays upright. My elbow stays up the entire time. When we go for the press, the direction we want to think about is bicep to ear. So that's going to drive our arm over our head and put the dumbbell in line with our body to be in a nice secure position overhead. Because again, with this event, we need to make sure our feet are stable, dumbbell is over our head in control before a down call is given. So we have the positioning, lat is locked in, elbows nice and high, we dip, drive, and press. Now with the press, there's a couple of options we have. We can go with just a regular push press, which is just a dip and drive, and we drive up into the dumbbell, or we can go into a push jerk, which is something I like to use with the events that are a little bit heavier. So we're gonna dip and drive and then catch. So we're gonna dip, drive up, and as the dumbbell is rising upwards, we're gonna actually double bend our knees, catch with a locked out elbow, stand up for the good call. So again, A lot of info getting thrown at you here, but we're gonna go over the clean and the press. I'll do 2 reps, and I'll show you the difference between a push press and a push jerk. So the first rep I did was a push press, second rep a push jerk. Now the final piece of this event, the one that's gonna make us cycle the reps quickly, be really efficient in a competition, is how we drop the dumbbell from overhead. Once the dumbbell is overhead and we have a down call from the judge, the movement of our arm, you wanna think about pointing your thumb down towards the ground. So we're actually going into internal rotation of the shoulder. We're gonna turn our elbow down and guide the dumbbell to the ground. What that does is it allows the dumbbell to fall flat, directly in position between your feet, where you can just go back, regrip the dumbbell right into the next clean. If you're kind of all over the place dropping the dumbbell, you know, if we just kind of let it go from over the top, it lands sideways, it bounces all over the place. That's time you're gonna be spending repositioning the dumbbell to get back into the pressing position. So I'm gonna do a couple of reps, clean each, dropping it from the top. Again, internal rotation, thumb down, guiding it to the ground, going right back into the next few reps. So again, with this event, taking all of these tips and tricks, making sure we're being efficient with the clean, utilizing the equipment we use during the event as it is, get into a nice rack position on the shoulder and the trap, making sure our elbow is parallel to the ground, it doesn't fall during the dip, we press bicep to ear overhead, and then internal rotation and thumb down on the drop. All of those things are gonna make this event extremely efficient, get you more reps within the time limit that's allotted, and you'll just become a badass at the dumbbell clean and press. As always, make sure you check out my sponsors down below. For everybody that supports me in my strongman journey, be on the lookout for more Just the Tip videos coming up soon. And until next time, power through.